start talking about the kids who aren't ever talked about.
Exactly. Welcome to Jersey Mat Chat.
How you doing? My name's Gary Wade. I'm an official here in the state of New Jersey. We're in need of officials, so if you're interested in becoming an official, please visit our website, njwoa.net. You'll fill out an application process, and you'll get a response back from Mark Sherman, who's in charge of the state of New Jersey for the cadets that join our ranks. The qualifications are you just have to be 18 years old. We could use you. We're shorthanded.
Do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir!
Welcome to Mat Chat. I'm Pete, and today we are here with a special guest, the state champ himself at 138 pounds, Gideon Gonzalez. What's up, Gideon? Man, thank you for having you, man. I appreciate you taking the time with us. One of the things I wanted to ask you is, what was the first thing that went through your head, man, when you realized that you were the state champ and that final whistle blew?
It didn't really hit me all at once, you know? Because, like, I've been wanting to win that title for years. Like, since my brother, I used to be, like, a little kid, you know, when I was, like, probably 8 years old, watching my little brother wrestle. And I was like, oh, my God, that's so cool. I want to be down there, you know? I wanted to compete. I didn't even realize, like, what a state title really meant, you know? what you had to do to get it. But after winning, like, getting my hand raised, it was, like, unbelievable. And just looking into the stands, seeing my dad, my mom, and all the people who supported me, and just getting off the mat, it was fabulous.
I was just going to ask you that. The first person you looked for after you got off the mat, that was your dad and your mom?
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's what a...
And then my teammates off the side, you know, they were all congratulating me, like, just waiting. And I, you know, walking back in and seeing all them, that really, I almost started crying.
Oh, man. Was it icing on the cake to beat somebody from SJR?
A little bit. All
right, man. Well, you come from a pretty crazy wrestling family, right? So I wanted to know, when did you first step on the mat? How did you get into this?
Probably when I was 6 years old. You know, my uncle, obviously, really good wrestler, my brother. But I never really took it seriously, like got really good, till sixth grade during COVID, of all things. Because I just wasn't really a good wrestler. I used to get beat up by almost everyone. Wasn't very athletic, wasn't very strong. But during that year, you know, I got held back in sixth grade. And I spent a lot of that time just training and just trying to get strong. Wasn't like super technical at the time, just getting really strong and getting my lungs good. And I won a little kid state title. And that was like huge for me. I remember that. I still remember that. That was huge.
Was that the confidence builder?
That was like one of them. But then I would say going in, like the hard work I put in, like going into high school, that was really starting to build me up.
And who were some of the coaches back then? Who were some of the kids, the wrestlers you looked up to?
I remember I used to go to Scorpion, so I used to look up to Gino a lot, C. Chibler.
Wow.
Adrian Jesus, he was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I used to respect all these guys. You know, I still do, obviously. But, you know, they were huge. I wanted to be like them. I wanted to be just as good. I wanted to wrestle them. But they had a system back then where I wasn't good enough to wrestle them because I would get squashed. But, nah, it was cool.
Nah, you're good enough, man, for sure. You definitely earned your keep there. And then was wrestling always the path, or did you try other sports?
I used to play football when I was like, I want to say maybe fifth grade.
Okay.
I just came to Butler. I was a fullback my first year because the kid broke his leg. He made it to like whatever, what's like state final, whatever, little league. We lost, but I mean, I liked football, but I realistically knew my dad is the tallest in my family. I'm like right behind him. Football on the college, you know, on even a pro level, it's not gonna
happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
with me.
Wrestling was definitely the way to go then.
Yeah.
What's one of the early memories with your dad and your uncle back on the wrestling mat?
Trying to think. My uncle. I remember we went to when they had NCAAs in Rutgers. I remember going with my dad and my uncle and just watching those guys compete. I mean, I wasn't really just so good. I had no clue with the names. I wasn't like a really big, you know, fan, like follower of wrestling, so I couldn't like tell you the names like some of these little kids are. I just remember like seeing that level, like wow, they can move like that. They're still strong. Like
Wow,
it was crazy to me.
How old were you then?
9.
9 years old. Wow, it's just getting into it, seeing all that kind of levels. And do you remember when your brother won the state championship? You have memories of that?
I have a memory of me pissing off my mom and dad. We like all the way up top, and I was just creating a fuss because I didn't even realize what was going on. I was like, why are they ignoring me? And so I remember just like, you know, ignoring my mom and dad. They had to give me off to a family friend, and while my brother was winning state title.
Wow,
yeah,
that's crazy, man. And how did your dad Howie being a district champ? Did that shape your mindset early?
Oh, actually, district runner-up. I tease him about it all the time.
Oh, okay.
But he did have a really good kid, to be fair. You know, It was tough, but. You know, him, even though he wasn't the best wrestler, he's, you know, probably one of, and not the best coach I ever had in my life. You know, he's always there, you know, always in my corner, always supporting me. Sometimes I don't listen to him, you know, usual dad stuff, but I really look up to him. I couldn't have done it without him or my mom.
You see that a lot in the sport, though. A guy who is a pretty decent wrestler, and then they have kids, and they know exactly what to give them and how to feed them and how to treat them, and all of a sudden those guys become champions.
Yeah.
So that legacy kind of always continues. We see that a lot. It's very interesting in the wrestling in that sport. And your brother Lewis, when he won a state title, it was Don Bosco, right?
Yeah, Don Bosco.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't a Bergen Catholic. And you were too young to kind of watch and remember too much of the details you were saying, right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So did that put pressure on you for future?
When I was younger, that was my main motivation. I wanted to be a state champ because, you have some of these kids, their brother or their family member was a huge wrestler, and it's like sometimes it's really hard to live up to that. In my mind, I wanted to be even better and surpass them. And so far, I'm doing good. But like now, I got a state. That was like the main thing I ever wanted. Now I got that state title. I want to get 2 more before I'm gone and get some other international stuff.
Well, yeah, it's a good start, man. 2 more years to get at it.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, you get good at wrestling after COVID years and stuff. Talk about choosing Bergen Catholic.
I didn't apply to Bergen Catholic.
Okay.
I tried getting into Blair and Dobie. Didn't work out. I tried getting into Joe's. It was an option. I was thinking about going there. It's still, I don't know, just didn't click with me personally yet. And at a National Freestyle Duo, it's coming up in a week. My dad talked to one of the parents or like one of my teammates' dad, or future teammates, I guess.
Okay.
And that's how I met Don Santoli. And within the week, I was able to get into Bergen Catholic.
Wow.
Within the week.
That quick.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And then what was the biggest adjustment from that to like high school? When you get there, you're in this storied program.
I mean,
to like,
it was cool. My town never was good at wrestling. Like me being a state, I'm already one of the best. I'm the best ever by winning a state title.
Mhm.
So I knew I had to go to a private school so I could, keep on progressing and building myself up. But going to with all that history, it's kind of inspiring going in that room and looking up because we got like all our like multi-state champs on the walls. You used to see it. I'm like, man, I want to get my face up there.
and now your face is going to be up there, man.
Yep.
That's crazy.
I can win one more. It's multiple time.
It's multiple times to put up
Yeah.
there? Oh, wow. So they don't even put it. Wow.
Yeah.
What a program, man. What did those early high school seasons teach you, man, when you first got in there?
I needed a technique.
Yeah.
Because I was a good middle schooler. I think I was like number 2 in the top 5 in the country. I don't know exactly. I was a good middle schooler. I went to the Super 32 qualifier. I made the semifinals and then just got hammered by 2 state qualifiers
Oh, wow.
because I just couldn't keep up with their technique. They were slicker and they were just as strong as me, so I couldn't even overpower them. And so from there on, like my freshman year, it was just like adjusting to like the, high school style, learning technique. And I think going into this year, after losing at Super 32s pretty badly as well, I learned I needed the funk more. I wasn't very agile, I wasn't very athletic. And that's what I was trying to work on for this entire season, and still doing it.
This is a good place for that.
Yeah.
How would you describe your wrestling style?
Very hands-on. I'm very aggressive. Not much of a space. I can wrestle from space if I have to, wrestle any position. But me, I see wrestling as a very physical sport, very demanding sport. And I just want to wear my kid down and get my hands on him as soon as possible. Yeah.
Are you a freestyle or folk person?
I'm more of a freestyle guy.
You are?
I think folk style is actually my least favorite style. I still love it, but compared to the others.
And you're one of the first for us for Greco.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about Greco. How'd you get into that?
Greco, it was just, I wrestled for the 14U national team. That was my first ever time doing Greco. I think I won like 7 matches down there. I did really good. But I was just doing it for fun up until last year, the 16U national team. I wrestled, and I knew a little bit of Greco, basic, pick the guy up, push him out of bounds, gut wrench. But I wasn't really like that into it. I went down there and I started beating all these kids who placed at Fargo, who did this, who did that, and I was like, man, I can do this. And then going into Fargo after taking 5th in freestyle, I'm weighing in. I'm like, all right, well, the hard part's over. I took 5th. Good job for me. Let me just go weigh in and see how it goes. Just have fun. I'm already down here. Well, I'm not gonna wrestle Greco. And so I step on the mat. First match goes well. Second match, I get to like 3. I win 4 matches in a row. I get forward during that. I think quarterfinals.
Okay.
So I'm down, but then I start just catching slips and just being able to, outmuscle the kids and wear them down. I'm like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. I don't, make it the day 2 going in. I know some of these kids. I've seen them, they placed at the US Open, done really well. I'm like, hey, I made it this far. Let me just keep on going. Beat this musclehead who almost like ripped my head off. Then semifinals, I'm wrestling this kid from California. They're really good at Greco.
Yeah.
That's a big Greco state. Wrestling this kid, I get forward almost right off the bat. And I'm like, oh, whatever, I made it this far. Let me just keep on wrestling. I'm still here, working my position, just using strong. And somehow I get into Fargo finals. I'm like, wow, I'm good enough to beat the best kids in the country. Well, I already made it this far. Well, I'm not just going to beat this kid.
Yeah.
And in finals, I'm winning 5-0. Minute left. Arm spin, get forward to my back again. I get forward almost every single match. You couldn't tell. But, I get forward. I'm losing. I'm down. And then he tries it again. Gets behind me. Locks up like a suplex. Is about to for me again. With like 10 seconds left in the match. I look at my coaches, which are, it was Joe Sable and Nicky Ramos at the time.
Okay.
Look at them. I look at the clock. I got 10 seconds left. I'm not about to lose. 10 seconds left in the Fargo final. I'm not about to get forward. Just, woulda, coulda, shoulda. So I, played my feet and just ripped that kid off me and ended up like headlocking him. They called it a slip, but I didn't care. Still won the match.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you're champ.
Yeah.
Wow. Now you come home. Does that help you with folk and kind of give you a little more confidence as you got back into it?
That was definitely like a big confidence builder, but also a skill builder too. I don't think I would have been able to win New Jersey State title without wrestling Greco.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you use that in your bag, in your tool bag.
Yeah.
Wow. So Bergen Catholic and SJR. Let's get into this, man. What a great rivalry. Talk to me about this. What makes this rivalry a little different?
I mean, just like the fierceness of it, because we all know each other. We go at clubs, we know each other cordial. Like when we're all that mad, it's war, like just anything for the team. I remember, unfortunately, for the first two duels, I wasn't really able to wrestle because in the first one I was able to wrestle, but it wasn't the kid I wrestled in the finals because I was still up a weight class. Yeah. And then the second time he was still hurt, so I couldn't wrestle him. So for me, I wasn't really able to experience the atmosphere, Bergen Catholic versus St. Joe's. But I just remember everyone just giving it their all. The biggest difference between us losing the first time, like we didn't get better within 2 weeks. I think we just got tougher and that we just wanted it more.
You wanted it more, yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's tough, man, because the energy in those rooms leading up to those matches, what's that like?
That's electric. I love that energy. I live for that. Going out there. Some kids get scared. I get scared too. But once I'm out there, I'm just let me just wrestle. I do this almost every single day of my life. Why not? Let me just train.
Talk a little bit about your mindset, because you already said you got forward all this times, but it doesn't really bother you. What's your mindset on the mat? You just keep going to the next point?
Me, I look at wrestling, obviously you go against these really good kids all the time who, did this. Some of them, maybe placed in states higher than you last. A lot of them actually did. Yeah. But I just look at it as like a points game. How can I score points and not give up points? And as soon as I just shake it off, plenty of wrestling left. Because I think I'm a third period wrestler, I got a great gas tank. And so I just keep on attacking and competing and wrestling. I'm like, something's good gotta happen eventually.
So you put that work in and know, hey, I got this work in the bag. And then we get to that third period, regardless of what's going on, I got a shot.
Yeah.
I like that attitude, man. Yeah. The championship run, man. Walk me through this year. How did it start out?
It started out pretty good. I'm at 144 starting off my season at Beast. Wrestle some good kids there. Don't place. I lose to a freshman. I was having a bad day.
Okay.
Yeah. So that wasn't good. That's good for me. Then I do pretty good. Go to Doc Buchanan, California. Really competitive tournament. End up doing really good there. I lose the number 5 kid in the country in a close match. And then I beat one of the California State finalists and another California semifinalist. And I ended up taking 4th there. I'm feeling all high and mighty. Then I think about a week later, I go back to my own home gym. We're going against Bergen Catholic. I'm wrestling. First ever time I got pinned in high school wrestling.
Wow.
Yeah. I got Peterson with a really, really good kid. And that was the first time I ever got pinned in like the past, I want to say 3-4 years of my life.
What was that feeling like?
That was horrible. I'm like, can I do this now? Like really thinking about it. Can I do this? But I skipped over a part. So we went to Catholic school duels.
Okay.
And one of the 138 pounders, they bumped up to wrestle me. He was really good, like one of the best in the state. I wrestle him, end up having a really good match against him. And then I'm like, oh, I can do good at 38. I'm like, I'm still a little too big though, so let me just relax for now. But then we're at counties. Now this is after I got pinned by the Bergen Catholic.
Right.
I'm at counties. I'm making weight. I'm like weighing in 2 pounds under consistently, easily making weight, eating like pancakes in the morning before weigh-ins. And living the life, having fun. And I'm like, maybe I can get down. Maybe I can do this. So, I talked to my coaches, talked to my teammates, and we were able to move it. One of my teammates, Salzy, goes up from 38 to 44, and I dropped down to 38. And this was around the time I think we first versus St. Joe's, the first time when we lost to them.
Okay.
And so I had to weigh in light there. I think that the entire state kind of knew because I stepped on weighing in for 140. I weighed in like 142 and a half. I remember kids were like, what the heck? And so I weighed in light there, had a good run, had to sit out a couple matches like Bosco and Ridgewood. Didn't really care.
Yeah.
But now I'm back down to 38 going into, I think, team states.
Okay.
Team states. And so we go against Joe's again. We beat them. I get a forfeit though because the wrestler's still hurt. He can't compete. And then we go on to go against Delbarton. And Delbarton, they have this really, really tough kid. He's a freshman. In my mind, I'm thinking I can do good. Let me just go get points out because I don't know if we're gonna win this, man. Delby's obviously one of the best kids or one of the best teams in the country.
Without a doubt.
So we're going against, Delby, 138. Step on the mat. This kid's a freshman. I'm like, oh, maybe I can just tech and pin him, get points for my team. End up having a 4-2 match with him. Almost lose the match, like this close to losing, because my nutrition, I wasn't having enough carbs. And so I gassed out after the first takedown. And so literally during the entire match, I was about to pass. I was just like wobbling back and forth, trying to hold my own. And I'm like, oh my God, like states are like 3 weeks away. What am I going to do? And then we go into the state run. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to compete, just wrestle. Yeah, I know I'm a good wrestler. That was a fluke. And that kid's also really good, having close matches with like top 5 guys in the country. So I'm like, all right, let me just relax. Let me just go wrestle, compete. Districts, go off as planned. I think I tech pinned everyone there. Region semifinals, I get up a takedown, almost get put to my back early on. It was like more of a lack of concentration there.
Okay.
So that didn't worry me too much. But I got to go against this kid from Bergen Catholic. It wasn't the one who pinned me, but I wrestled this kid earlier on in the season. It was a really close match. It was like, I know this kid's one of the top guys in the state and I want to go for 4 region titles, so I'm starting to get a little nervous. Wrestle him, gets to my legs in the beginning of the match, and we start battling. It's a close one in the beginning. End up catching him with a little, I think it's called what? I don't know, dump. I just call it dump.
Okay.
End up pinning him. Really good match. That kid ended up taking 4th in states later on. Really, really tough. And then I'm going in the state tournament. And states are Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
Wednesday, I get horribly sick. Like so sick, like the worst sickness I ever got in my life. Like so bad. On the way to school, I'm throwing up in my dad's car.
Oh my God.
So I go to practice that day, get the crap knocked out of me by all my partners. I'm like barely can get in my stance. I'm feeling horrible. Like it's bad. I'm like, oh my, wow. Like, I've never gotten sick. And right before states, of all play times, right?
Yeah.
So.
And how'd that affect your nutrition?
Nutrition? I mean, I was still like close to weight.
Okay.
Like, it's not like I got like really, really light, but I was still like good. And I'm like, all right, I just got to compete. Luckily, I had a good seed. So day 1, I had to wrestle, 2 kids. First one, it was the region semifinals kid.
Okay.
Ended up teching him again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go against this kid. He ended up taking 7th later on. And that was a tough one. I kind of underestimated him, I think. And with my sickness, I wasn't wrestling my best. I almost went. I knew if I went into overtime with that kid, the way I was feeling, I may have lost that match. So
wow,
yeah,
such a close match.
Close calls.
I mean,
yeah,
that's how it goes in the NAC, though.
Yeah.
Man. Everything's just like by the minutia. It's
Mhm.
crazy. And now, do you use a nutritionist or?
I use Dan Warnikoff.
Oh,
He's my guy. Yeah.
And that's shout out to Champion Athletes.
Yep.
I love that, man. Yeah. Dan's a good guy, man. He keeps you fresh. And so, was your weight an issue there? Were you battling the scale?
I was so good for weight.
You were good.
That was the one thing I was good on. Sickness, not so much, but
Yeah.
I get better as the day goes. Like day 2, I was starting to feel a little better, a little iffy. My first match. Then I beat that kid. I wrestled him before DePaul. I trained with a nice kid, somewhat close one. Then I'm going in the semis. One of the best kid, has the most wins ever in Jersey history.
Cheers.
So,
Hanson. That's
Hanson.
right. Yeah.
And I'm fired up for that match because I lost to him last year, previously to AC.
Okay.
During like one of the Conci rounds. It was a close one too. I think it was actually 4-2 his way. And it was my dad's birthday that day too.
That's right. It
Yeah.
was your dad's. I read that. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What a gift.
Yeah. So I'm like, no one else in the state or no one else in the country has been given this gift, I get to wrestle the kid who has the most wins ever when he just got it, and it's my dad's birthday, and it's for a state title. Pretty much, semifinals.
So it's all set up for you.
All set
All you
up.
gotta do is take
So
care
I'm
of it.
like, I just gotta do it. Wrestle, and then we got the controversial, was it takedown or was it not?
What's your take on that?
My take, I don't think it was.
Okay.
I really don't believe it was. With all the funking now, you really got to establish control before it's 3.
Okay.
And, you had 2 where, like, the refs didn't even debate it, too. They just, as soon as one of them talked to the other, like, okay, they waved it off. They realized
Yeah.
right away. So then end up winning that match, another close one. Finally, I'm in state finals.
Now, what are you thinking? Going into state finals, you got this matchup. What's your thought process?
I'm like, I got this far. I made it, right? I was sick. I beat the kid who has the most wins ever in Jersey history. Now I'm going against this kid from St. Joe's. Well, I haven't wrestled yet because it just hasn't worked out.
Okay.
And I just fired up, I didn't really get like a wink of sleep that night. My teammate can tell you I was like up in the hallways roaming around. Not because I was nervous, because I was excited.
Yeah.
I was really fired up for that match. Go win, go spend time with my family. We got pancakes that day, carving up before the big match.
Mhm.
And then I'm just fired up, Go out there, finals. he gets the first takedown.
Yeah.
And for a lot of kids, it's over,
Mm-hmm.
Kids gets the first takedown, especially in state finals. It's like, oh, they lost. Trying to score against one of the best kids in Jersey is definitely...
The way I'm hearing it, you got him right where you want him.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, it came to a point halfway through the first period. I'm like, if I don't score, if I don't do anything, if I just wrestle the way I'm wrestling, he will take a state title away from me. And it was at that moment where, I'm on top. I don't even wrestle top. I don't really like top. I like, neutral. I'm more of a neutral guy. And wrestling top. I'm like, should I just cut him? I'm wrestling and I haven't hit this move, like the suck back I hit on him. I used to hit that all the time in middle school because it worked back then, These kids used to fall for it. But, in high school, kids got a lot better. But there, I was like, that wasn't even technique. That was just, I grabbed him and I'm like, you need to go back. I need those back points.
Saw that.
Yeah.
And then you wrote him out. Yeah, that was a crazy match. And then you finish that match and you stand up and now you're state champion.
Yeah.
It all sinks in. What's that like?
It was unbelievable, honestly. Like, that was the main thing. It was cool winning Fargo too, but like my brother didn't compete in Fargo. I didn't really know what it was about too much. It was more of just like a nice run, and I was very good, so I was able to get it. But the state, that was like what I was working for many years. So.
And what was that when you finished out and you actually sit there and you're state champion now and you get to walk around that way? Is it real? Is it when you when you feel that the next day you wake up? Is it memory?
It took like about a week for it to sink. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, like, all the kids, I looked up to a lot of state champs before that, obviously. And I'm like, wow, I'm among those kids now, I'm a state champ. I have this under my belt. But, it was really, really cool.
Were there any nerves when you went to Atlantic City? Some people talk about that, being in that aura sometimes gets a little crazy when you get out there the first time.
Getting sick took away all those nerves.
They did.
Because I didn't have any really that high expectations for myself because I was feeling so down and so sick. And I'm like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm just going to wrestle, just going to compete. And it worked out.
Oh, that's great, man.
Yeah.
And then also your teammate won. That's right. I almost forgot.
Yeah,
Joey. That's
Joey.
right. Yeah. So now 2 state champs in the room. What's that like?
That's awesome.
Do you guys push each other?
We did, yeah. I remember one time we were doing the thing where you like run around the circle and then the coach calls out.
Yeah.
And then he called out me and Joey. I'm like, all right, I can take this kid. I got him. Shoots my leg right away, puts me right in my back. But nah, I'm really happy for Joey. He's gone through a lot. And just for him to end off his high school career with that state title, when I know he deserves it, like that really, I'm really happy for him.
Who were some of the other good guys in your room that you get to train with that helped you get to this run?
We got Matt Mulligan, Anthony Riato, Salzi, that's my main guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a really fabulous run from how he was doing at 38 to placing at 44 and beating one of the top guys.
Yeah.
That was magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a good room, man. That's a good room. Who's the funniest guy in that room?
Funniest guy?
Keeps it light. Is that you or is it
No, it's definitely not me. Just say Matt. Matt's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some stuff.
Yeah, because that's the thing with wrestling, man. You need that guy that keeps it light when it's getting crazy. And then let's get back to your mindset, man. What separates from other guys like you at your weight and stuff? Because I feel like your mindset's a big part of your game.
Yeah. I go in there fearless. At least I try to be. It's hard to say that, but I really do believe, I just dumb it down. It's a high school wrestling match. Who's going to care within a month? Who's going to care within? And I just go out there, and just compete, just have fun. This is what I do almost every day. And so it's like, why would I be scared when I finally get to do it in front of a crowd, when there's pressure? So I think that's also a huge advantage going into these big tournaments and just being able to soak up that pressure while other kids get even worse, I get even better.
What's your take on wrestling at, say, one club versus all over? Some guys are real loyal to one club and they stay there, and then some guys like to wrestle all over. What's your take on that?
So I have one main technician guy, Jeff Marsha, Basement Rat, shout out.
Okay.
But I think it's good to go from club to club because you have to pick up little things here and there, and the partners there too. Because it's really hard to find one guy to be able to put, unless you're very fortunate, but like one guy, one club to push you, because eventually you just get used to each other, So I think going from clubs and being able to wrestle some of their best guys, that's a huge factor that got me, really good.
Big time, yeah. And everybody's got a different approach to it. I don't think there's a right or a wrong, but it's really interesting to hear people who have been successful and what they take. I remember Jordan Burroughs was talking about how a lot of the best wrestlers at the clubs that you know about were their sons.
Yeah.
Because they stayed there all the time, were always there, and they really mastered that technique. And if you find a club that That's what it's really about, the technique that you like, that really stands out to you, and then using that and mastering that. And that's what drives success. But I also hear from a lot of people that they love to go to different clubs for partners.
Yeah.
And I love to, to test themselves out and see that. And it's very different now than back in the day. You get to go to all these clubs and see all these guys kind of before the big matches and stuff. What does it mean to you to carry the Gonzalez name in wrestling?
It's a lot. It's a lot, but I'm just doing my best, honestly.
Yeah,
just trying to get better and better. And now I'm trying to set my own goals, for my kid. So when he's got to wrestle, or so I don't want to force him to wrestle, but when hopefully he wrestles, that, he has a lot to look up to, and that I can help him out with that too.
Yeah.
That's one thing I want to do.
Are you looking at colleges yet at all?
Colleges, I got to start looking. I know I have to, but
Mm-hmm.
not yet. I mean, everything personally for me is wide open right now.
Where do you pitch yourself? Where do you see yourself? Are you a Big Ten guy? Or you just want to go to college and wrestle?
I think wrestling is bigger factor than academics for me.
Okay.
I think that.
Okay. That's a good way to put it. And then in the future, man, you think you might be a coach one day?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I can see it,
Yeah. Stay involved in the sport somehow?
Definitely. Because I can't just like all of this and just drop wrestling. Once it's with you, I feel like it's with you for the rest of your life.
So let's talk about the next couple of years you got left in high school still.
Yeah.
What's next?
Next, heading out to US Open, going to compete some freestyle and Greco. Going to go to Fargo. And I think just getting better and just mastering my craft. Because my goal, I want to win every big tournament at least one time throughout my high school career.
Okay.
That's my goal.
That's a good goal.
So I think, just getting better.
What's left on the checkbox left? What haven't we checked off yet?
We got US Open. Want to go to Super 32s. I want to win that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
And then some other stuff like Journeyman, Powerade. I want to go back to Dr. Buchanan. I want that cowboy hat.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look good in the cowboy hat. I can tell. And what do you want people to remember about you when it's all said and done? Like, what are they going to say about Gideon Gonzalez when it's all done?
He different, I was a hard worker, That's the thing. That no matter how good I got, I was still the same person on the inside, That I didn't let, grow an ego or didn't help. Because I was a little kid chasing around all the good partners when I was younger. I told myself there that when I get really good, I want to be able to help these guys. And not just because they're bad, the ones who really want to improve themselves and get better. I never want to be like, oh, you're too good for me. So I'm always want to help these little kids,
We got a lot of little kids that watch and stuff like that. What do you say to them? What do you tell those kids that are out there struggling, trying to get to your level right now?
I think just keep on going. You'll have bad days. I had, I'm going toe-to-toe with a freshman. I'm getting pinned the year I win a state title. So I think just keep on going, keep on progressing, keep on wrestling.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's fun. Because if it's not fun, why are you doing it? That's most biggest thing for me. If I'm not enjoying myself while I'm wrestling, why am I even going to do it?
And you got to, because you got to put in that work every day. And if you don't make it enjoyable, it just builds up and builds up. And then that's why people burn out.
Yeah.
And when you make it fun, you make it enjoyable. And I could tell you don't put too much pressure on yourself, or at least you handle it in the right way. And I think that's really important with that mindset, especially going forward. What do you do when you don't wrestle?
I don't wrestle.
What's some of the hobbies you got? What are you into?
Been trying to get into running more. I mean, I do kind of wrestling, but also I think mentally I just like running a lot. Gets me leaner. I'm a big water guy. I like going chill in my pool.
Okay.
I used to be a really good swimmer when I was younger. Not so much anymore. I got a little worse, but
that's good for you, man. Swimming's tough.
Swimming is good.
Yeah. That keeps you. I actually was just hearing a thing. They were talking about these two football players that work out. One of the guys, Ruben Bain, was coming out, and they took him. The guy Messidor, who's his teammate, took him to a swimming workout, and the guy quit halfway through. He's like, "Bro, I can't." This guy's gonna be one of the top guys in the NFL draft. So man, swimming will get you.
It's a lot.
And that's it. No big parties, nothing like that.
No, I'm not a big party.
Chilling.
I mean, I like spending time with my, small friend group. I'm more of an introvert than extrovert, I would say.
Any coaches or people you want to shout out that helped you get here when you got a chance to let them know?
Well, obviously, Laser DeLuca for letting us use this beautiful facility.
Yeah.
Jeff Marshy was one of my main guys. And then some of my Greco guys, Joe Sable, Coach Terrell, Nicky Ramos. And then I want to give a big shout out to Coach Dom Santoli and Brady Ford and just the entire Bergen staff for helping me and supporting me and pushing me to be where I want to be.
Well, man, I could tell everybody is very excited to see where you're going to get, what these next 2 years are going to take you, man. I can't wait for the future. Gideon, man, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank
it's been
you.
a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Another episode of Matt Chat. Thanks for tuning in. Attention, wrestling fans, parents, and future state champs. This is your podcast. We're shining a light on the toughest high school New Jersey wrestlers and coaches who are building warriors one takedown at a time. Follow us, like, and subscribe on your favorite platform. Doesn't cost you anything, but it goes a long way to support the show. Don't just watch the journey, be part of it.